Alright, here we are for week 2 of the whole personal journey, diary, whatever we want to call it. So, I am decided 100% on what's going to happen next year. This is genuinely what took up so much of my mental energy last year. Definitely, decision fatigue is definitely a really big thing, kind of going, back and forth and back and forth. But that's in the past now, and I can move on with doing the important things because I'm 100% decided now. Flights booked, everything's booked. I'm going to be staying in Quy Nhon, Vietnam. I've probably said that wrong, but it's a city, a small kind of coastal city in central Vietnam. And I'm going to stay there for absolute minimum 6 months, but realistically, I'm going to stay there for 12 months. Yeah, and so it's pretty perfect because now as of right now, I live alone in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom place in Bangkok, and I'm going to be living alone in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom place in Quy Nhon. So what I'm going to use the next kind of almost 2 weeks for how long I'm still here in Bangkok is essentially a proof of concept where Vietnam and Thailand is same time zone. So I'm going to be trying to kind of live by the same routine that I'm planning on for Vietnam. So it's pretty exciting. Now, that being said, overall, I'm kind of, there's always, ebbs and flows in terms of not just in terms of your inputs in the business, but also in terms of like your emotions and where you're at with the future. To where, for last week, I might have been super 100%, excited, ready to go. But then this week, this is why videos like this are good, because it's just me being honest, right? This week, I was a lot more kind of not pessimistic, but just like I guess not optimistic and lack of optimism. To where obviously I'm gonna keep on doing everything. I'm gonna keep on going, keep on pushing forward. But I've definitely been a bit more like melancholy, I think is the best way to describe it. And at the end of the day, the emotions don't really matter, right? What actually matters is whether or not the inputs are getting done, whether or not you're moving the needle. And what I need to, and this is why, like I said before, this is why personal journal like this is so important, so I can talk to myself about this type of thing. What I need to do is just stop letting it have a hold on me, right? I feel like my stomach looks so big right now. I don't know if I'm bloated, but I promise I'm not a fatty. But I feel like, I need to make it so that emotion has less of an effect on my inputs. At the end of the day, the entire goal of emotion, it's emotions in the name, right? It's meant to influence how you act, right? Oh, I'm angry, so I'm gonna punch you. Right? Oh, I'm energized, so I'm gonna go to the gym, right? Your emotion typically tries to sway the emotion that you do. So I need to be better at feeling whatever emotion and then doing what I need to do anyway, right? Because if I'm feeling like melancholy about something, I'm not feeling motivated about something. Why does that mean that I shouldn't do it? Of course it doesn't, right? It's just the same way. If I feel motivated for something, should I do it? Yeah. Well, if it's the right thing, yes. If I don't feel motivated for something, should I do it? Well, if it's the right thing, yes. So motivation, non-motivation, happy, sad, rain or shine, whatever, I still need to continue to just show up and do the right things. And the entire reason why I'm not already at 7 figures is because I haven't been 100% consistent, right? If I, from the start of my entrepreneurial journey to now, if I just shown up every day, no matter what, and done the correct thing, I would be at 7 figures, right? That's all it comes down to. If you do the inputs, you're going to see results. So if I did the inputs more consistently when I didn't feel like it, etc., I'll be further along. That's ultimately the highest point of leverage, right? It's just is time. Is doing the right thing over and over and over again for 3 years. So, yeah. Also, another thing that I feel as though I've been letting myself slip into too much is kind of like the mental masturbation of planning, right? To where like you're planning for every single little thing. Like, for example, I was doing this when it comes to coin. I was planning, because I'm gonna go to this gym, and then I can go to this pickleball club, and I can go to this tennis court, and I can maybe play futsal with these guys, and I was planning out my entire life and my business for next year. And planning, by all means, is an amazing, amazing thing to do, right? That, like when you're planning the night before a day, it's a common saying that 10 minutes of planning is an hour saved, the 1 minute of planning is 1 hour saved, whatever the saying is. It's by all means imperative to do. But when you are, like I said, you're over planning, like I think I have been, then it just gets to a point of fucking, mental masturbation. So I need to, instead of trying to make things more like, not even complex, instead of trying to make things more, instead of trying to do too much, I need to remove instead of add things, right? If I'm always adding this new tracker and then this new planning process and this new warm up and then this and then that, it's just too much bullshit, to put it simply, right? So honestly, the biggest thing I need to do right now is just remove everything, right? Make it very simple, right? Because objectively, right now for me, all that really matters is like my priorities is 95% the business, 4% my health and gym and diet, and 1% whatever else, right? So for the business, I need to, instead of trying to track every single thing, it needs to be, okay, well, this is what we're doing for client acquisition, it works like this, I need to do this. This is what we're doing for sales, it works like this, I need to do this. Very, very simple stuff. So I've got, whiteboards that I love a whiteboard. So I always use whiteboards, but I need to, I honestly want to get to a point where I can kind of look at my business on one whiteboard, right? Where I can just be like, okay, this is what's happening. This is simple, and then these are the tasks that I need to do today, and they map up to my weekly input goals, right? If my goal is to give you some arbitrary number, let's say, and this isn't the number, I'm just giving you an example. Let's say your goal is to do 700 cold calls this week for your marketing agency, right? Just having the number, 0 out of 700 dials there, and then your input goal for today is 150 dials. So you do 150, you change it from 0 to 150, and then tomorrow it's another 150, so you change it from 150 to 300, and you're seeing very clear progression, right? You're not worrying about tracking 27 different things. You're not worrying about fucking any of this bullshit. It's just very simple. Okay, I just need to do the dials today, and I win, and I'm going to book calls and make money. It's simple, right? By all means, when you're at 7, 8 figures, cool, things are going to be a lot more complex in terms of, you're managing more people, you're managing more clients, there's a lot more infrastructure needed. But below that, I mean, what the fuck are we doing? Like, just shut up and get to work. Like, that's what I need to tell myself. Like, I need to, and what I plan on doing is going through, like, whether it's my Google Drive or, my laptop or my physical environment, and just fucking removing everything. Like 75%, 80% of the shit. I'm just kind of realizing I don't really need this. Like, why do I even have this? Let me just fucking do the shit that I need to do. Most high leverage, most important shit, right? We're at, regardless, 100k per month, of course, is where I need to be at by the end of next year. I'm also considering something. Like 99% of people, when they talk about goals, they talk about like how I am, right? I'm going to hit 100k per month by this date. Or if I don't hit 15k per month by this date, I have to do Y, right? And I'm honestly considering just removing that, like the time frame. Because, and this is something that I learned from Charlie Morgan and Sam Ovens, to where for an input goal, like, okay, I want to do 100 cold calls. 100% makes sense. Okay, you need to do 100 cold calls in the next 5 hours, right? Reason being, you have full 100% control over whether those dials get done or whether they don't get done. It's your input, right? If the goal is to clap my hands 5 times and I don't put a time frame on it, then it can be done whenever. But if I say clap my hands 5 times in the next 10 seconds, I need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to get to work, right? It's an input that I can do. But for an output goal, and of course the biggest output that we can track is your monthly recurring revenue. For an output goal, it gets a bit more, not out of your hands, because ultimately it is in your hands, but it gets a bit more unreliable to give it an exact date, right? To where I don't know if you should be telling the universe, okay, I'm gonna be making this much at this month's time, and maybe perhaps instead it should be that, okay, I'm gonna do every single thing that I can do every single day to move the needle, and my goal is to make 100K per month. Not 100K per month by X date, not 100K per month with X clause, Y clause, Z clause, just 100K per month with my business. That's the only clause, right? And the only clauses that shouldn't, and this is just me speculating, but perhaps the only clauses on there should be your values, right? 100K per month, genuinely helping people, X, Y, Z, not to being a fucking degenerate doing OnlyFans management or some retarded shit like that. 100K per month with values, with X values, and then you just kind of fill the present. You do everything that you can to work towards that goal. So I'm very much considering removing those time frames and just saying, okay, the first goal is, okay, 50K, then it's going to be 70, then 100, whatever the specific revenue figures aren't important, but just having these goals that I want to hit with no time frame. And that brings me to another point, is that probably the biggest thing that I want to keep myself accountable to, that I don't do enough, is fighting entropy on my knowledge. Because, if I watch some really good mindset training, that's awesome. But the first go around watching something, you're probably only really going to retain, 15, 20% of it at the most. The way that you really embed something into you and see results with something is by looking at it again and again and again and again. So there's a very, very good collection of kind of business first principles and mindset and sales trainings that I have from, I've spent like over $50,000 in coaching programs, stuff like that. So just over my time investing in these things, I found, some amazing things that can really, really help me. But just going through them once 6 months ago isn't really going to do much for me. It'll help me a little bit, but the way I'm going to actually see value from it and see results is by going over it again and again and again and again. So there's a kind of structure and routine that I've set up for it, but I haven't been following. Mainly because I think it's something that kind of gives me resistance, right? Because I can go watch a Joe Rogan podcast or something like that for 3 hours and it's easy, right? But if that's a 3 hour intense mindset training video, then I feel more resistance towards it. And I think the reason behind that, to go one layer deeper, is probably because it brings up shit that I'm doing right now that I shouldn't be doing, right? 'Cause I'm doing some things that are wrong, you're doing some things that are wrong, to an extent most people are. So I feel the resistance to watching that video because it's saying, hey, stop doing this thing. So instead of hearing it, I'm just, of course, unconsciously just wanting to be like, whatever. This isn't even important. I don't need to watch it. I already remember this. It's fine. But until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you will call it fate. It's a very important quote. So I need to make the unconscious conscious, which is what this video is for, and tell myself, no, I need to be watching this shit. Like, that's honestly, basically number one priority, is to be watching this shit over and over and over and over again. Because really the entire and only goal of any mindset training that I've ever made for my clients or that I've ever consumed is one thing, is to get you to do the work, get you to do the action, right? That's the only reason mindset training matters. If you go through 100 hours of mindset training and you feel like your life has changed, but you're not doing any different actions, then it was a waste of time, right? So if I'm not doing the actions, then there's a cause, and that cause is something to do with my paradigm, so I need to go through the mindset training to fix that, to do the actions. So I need to just rewatch it constantly, 100%, because above anything else, the cold DM system is not the constraint in my business. My cold calling system is not the constraint in my business. My sales system, my service delivery, is not the constraint in my business. The constraint in the business is me, right? Me personally. Me, either making the wrong decision or not showing up, not doing the inputs. That's the constraint in the business right now. So the way to fix the business is to fix me. That's my number one priority, and that's what should be my number one priority. If I'm fucking scrolling Instagram for 5 hours per day, not a lot of work's going to be getting done in the business. So I need to take accountability for that, and it's my obligation to, right? Because if I don't do this, my future clients, my current clients get worse results. My future clients don't get signed. Right? I don't even get the opportunity to. If someone is a good fit and joins my program, their life changes. They get, there's so many testimonials that I have, and this isn't me trying to pitch or anything, but if someone's a good fit from the program, it's my moral obligation to get them to join. Because if someone's a good fit and they go through the program, they are going to see results. There's no if, buts, or maybes about it. I make 100% sure. So I would be wronging, morally wronging my future clients, because if I don't do the work, then they don't get signed by me, so they don't see the results that they would see if they were with me, right? And same goes with my current and future employees, right? There's money for them to be made that they're not making, or my current ones are making less than they could be making, because I need to fucking lock in. So it's good that I have this responsibility, so I can do it for me, but then I can also do it for my family, my future family, my current clients, future clients, current team, future team, right? So there's work to be done. There's shit that needs to get done. There's shit that the needle needs to be moved, and then this is why these videos I think are really important, because the whole mindset kind of fighting entropy thing wasn't really something that I was thinking. I was like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do, but that's exactly it, right? And through making the unconscious conscious, through speaking and just yapping to myself, I'm seeing, okay, I need to go through this mindset training again. It's been a while, so the routine that I set, I need to stick to, and genuinely that's probably that needs to be like the number one priority. It can't be like, oh, this is like the fourth or fifth most important thing. Oh, it's like, yeah, in the background, if you have time, go through it. It needs to be like number one, because fighting that entropy, the entropy of that conditioning and going back into old habits is how I get into predicaments when I'm feeling down or the business is at a downtime. It's just that. It's just that. It's nothing else. It's not fancy. It's just that. So I just need to constantly be going back to it. And I say this, but then I don't do it, so I don't see results. So I just need to make it 100% clear that by this time next week, I will have at least gone through the mindset training that I have in my mind, that I really like. If not, done more things, gone through it twice, gone through other things. But that needs to be like number one priority. Like I need to be, in the gym listening to that, not listening to music. I need to be, after my work's done, listening to that, not watching YouTube, right? And that needs to be big priority for me. So that's where we'll wrap it for this week. Hopefully on next week's video it'll be a lot more positive, upbeat. We'll see how this week, we'll see where this week takes me. Hopefully, of course, it'll take me to good places, fixing that entropy, getting shit back on track. And yeah, so that's where we'll end it. Please go ahead and do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe if there's anybody watching this. I don't expect that to be. Once again, this is just for like something personally that I wanted to do. So yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye bye.